Jurassic World Rebirth comes out tomorrow, stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and I forget his name, but a surprise cameo, Francis from Deadpool, he's in this movie. That was actually refreshing to see. But I left the theater underwhelmed, and as I was watching the movie, I kind of got this feeling that it wasn't very good. There's a lot about this movie that seems very hodgepodge. It seems like they're just scenes slapped together. The plot threads in it seem to be random as well. There are things that just happen for no reason, except there has to be a plot to the movie. They are characters that are introduced and then immediately thrown away without any payoff. I mean, characters who mean something to our main characters who apparently they've been around for a long time. They've worked together for a long time. They're very close knit. And when they get lost, the movie kind of glosses over it. I'm assuming because this is a Jurassic Park movie and that's just what happens. People get taken out by dinosaurs. But there was no emotional connection to those characters, even from the ones who lost them. And there were also characters who, or one particular character, that from the beginning you were rooting for a dinosaur to get him, and it never happens. What also doesn't happen is that feeling going away. Like when the movie ended, I still wished a dinosaur had gotten him, but the movie silently and with head nods gives its approval of that character. It was very strange. And he was supposed to be funny. He was supposed to be a comedic relief. He was supposed to lighten the mood, and he did none of those things. He was just annoying from the very first line of dialogue to the end of the movie with no payoff to his character or an arc of any kind. The story itself is not a Jurassic Park story. I mean, we've gotten so far away from the Jurassic Park story that that's why they call it Jurassic World now. And it's not even a Jurassic World story. It's not fun. It's not different. And by different, I mean giving us something new for this fourth movie or the first in this reboot sequel. I'm not even sure what they are classifying it as, to be honest with you. But it's not fun. I mean, even seeing the dinosaurs walking around, it wasn't fun to see it. It wasn't awe-inspiring anymore. Even in Jurassic World, the three that we got previously, there were elements of it where it still looked amazing seeing the dinosaurs. But they just keep amping up what you can do with the dinosaur DNA mutations and combining this dinosaur with that dinosaur to make this hybrid dinosaur. They just took that to 11. And it's funny because they give the same reason that Jurassic World gave. It's that people are bored with dinosaurs, so they had to get more creative. Well, we already heard that before. That's literally what the first or these other three movies were. So the main problem or conflict in this movie was people are bored with dinosaurs. Okay, well, stop making the movies then. But you're not going to stop making the movies because the theater that I was in was sold out. We're going to go see a Jurassic Park movie or a Jurassic World movie. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we should expect more from these movies. But no, it's a summer blockbuster. It's, right before the fourth. And we want to get into the theater and experience, a movie going experience that brings everyone to the theater to enjoy dinosaurs eating people. And it didn't really even give us that in a satisfying way. It got us to the theater, but it didn't deliver on the promise of these kinds of movies. And it's what was also weird is I would consider Scarlett Johansson a good actor. I would consider Mahershala Ali a good actor. He's won a couple of Oscars, but it didn't feel like they had any chemistry on screen. The dialogue that was written for them didn't allow for them to mesh together. And at the beginning of the movie, there is this heartfelt scene where it's supposed to be a heartfelt scene, but it just doesn't work. It's rushed and it feels forced. And it feels like, oh, here's some backstory for the both of these characters to endear the audience to them. But I didn't feel anything. They mentioned families, they mentioned their past, but it was like a 4 to 5 minute scene of them just sitting in one space talking, and it was very awkward seeing the two actors interact with each other. Like that's what I saw on screen was two actors interacting with each other instead of two characters talking. If that makes any sense. There was a family there, as every Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movie has to have the obligatory children who get in the way sometimes. And it's kind of the same old without the mystique, without the charm. And it wasn't fun. Even when the antagonist, quote unquote, has his comeuppance, they didn't do that in a fun way either. Like none of it felt like anything we've seen before. It felt a step down from all of that. And I, as I mentioned at the start, was just very underwhelmed. I was not impressed by this movie. And honestly, I don't think I was expecting much, and it kind of fulfilled that expectation. It didn't really give me much. I don't know if I would ever want to see this again. Like the other three Jurassic World movies, except for the third one. That one was kind of that one was bad. I didn't like that one. But I would still watch those before I would watch this one again. I still watch the other ones. Jurassic Park 3, I'd probably watch that again before watching this one. It was a bit boring and unoriginal. And again, it didn't offer anything new, anything in a different way. It wasn't fun. And the inciting incident, it didn't make any sense how things went bad. It was such a nonsensical way for the conflict to come about because it just slaps caution to the wind and says all of these security measures that should exist don't. And that's why. But they have to, these security measures, but it fails. And then dinosaurs escape. And then they abandon the island. And then have to go back to that island because they need to get this DNA from these three dinosaurs. And it felt like a fetch quest. I mean, that's exactly what it was. It was, hey, we need to go to these three locations, get these three things, and then movie over. And it tries to throw in a moral story, a moral idea of how technology and science and medicine should be used and distributed, who deserves it, and whether or not it should come at a cost. Should we profit from it, and all these things. And they didn't really develop that story plot or that storyline, nor did they provide any resolution to it. We just sail off into the sunset. with the Jurassic Park theme playing. The theme plays two or three times throughout the movie, like the original score. And in none of those times, in none of those scenes, does it deserve that score. It wasn't mystic. It wasn't cool. There was no reason for me to feel the way that the score makes you feel when looking at the scene it was coupled with. In all the other movies, you get that score and you see these amazing things on the screen. You see these great dinosaurs. You see the landscape and the scenery. And then each time it happened in this movie, I didn't feel anything. I was just upset that this is the scene they chose to pair with the score. And it was very bad, those particular scenes. Because again, they didn't deserve that theme song. So I get home and still, even after a few minutes, even after the drive home, having been able to think about it, let it sit in, wasn't impressed. Wasn't impressed. I'm curious what audiences will think of this. I'm sure that it'll make a lot of money at the box office, especially with the holiday weekend coming up. But week two, I'm not so sure.